If I'm operating portable and using a KX2, all I need to do is put up an antenna and plug it in. The radio has its own power supply, its own speaker, its own key, and an internal antenna tuner in case my antenna isn't resonant on the band that I want. But if we're going to use one of these small kind of micro radios, you don't have a lot of those things that are built into a bigger portable radio like a 705 or a KX2. So you're going to need to power it. You're going to need an antenna. If your antenna is not resonant, you're going to need an antenna tuner. You're going to need some kind of audio, earbuds or a speaker. And of course, you're going to need a key for operating CW. If you're used to larger radios, like an FTDX10, then you're going to need to make sure that you have coax for the BNC connectors that are on these little radios. So let's take a look at what I use for the Mountain Topper MTR-4B and see if that helps. So we can start with power. To power your MTR-4B, what we look for in portable operations, or what I look for in something like this type of radio, is a wide voltage range, meaning that the radio can operate at a wide range of voltages coming from a battery. In the case of the Mountain Topper, the range is 5.5 volts to 13 volts, and I want to be really careful about the upper end of that because I don't want to damage the radio, especially if SWR is a bit wacky. So for me, I'm looking for 12 volts to run this. It comes with a power cable, well, a connector, and at the end, the other end of the cable that you get are just open wires. So I've attached power pole to that so I can use multiple sources of batteries, each with their own connector type idea. So the three options that I've used so far, I'll start with this, which is hopeless for portable operations. This is an inexpensive battery and it will last forever with a Mountain Topper, but it weighs a ton and it's big, so that's not really what I want to use. If I was going to use this, I created a connector for it. So there's your power pole end that's going to attach to the power cord for your Mountain Topper, and at the other end are these things that connectors that connect directly to the battery. What I've used a lot with the SW3B are AA batteries, and you certainly can use these with your Mountain Topper to good effect too. The case I just got from Amazon, it comes with open wires, and then you can attach a power pole to the end or whatever connector it is you need. The hassle I had with this is you go through quite a few AA batteries, which is not so great. The upside is that if you are in a remote area, let's say that has a lodge or something, then you can buy, new AA batteries. What I've been using mostly is a talent cell. I have two. One is the 6 amp hour, the big one, and this little 3 amp hour one. And this one, I think, will power my Mountain Topper for as long as I generally need it, depending on, for most of my trips will be a day or two, and this will be fine. In addition to providing power to the radio, you can also charge your phone or your speaker with it too. You're going to need a 5.5 to 2.1 millimeter connector that goes in here. And so I built one of those somewhere. Power pole, and there's my connector, plugs in, and away you go. I was asked about where I got these things, and they're from Amazon too, and they come with the lead with the red black wire, and so you just need to attach a power pole to that, and then you're set to go. That's what I'll use most of the time, is this little guy. And compared to the radio, it's nice and small. For an antenna, I use end-fed half-wave antennas. They work okay for me because everywhere I go there are lots of trees to stick one up, unlike, let's say, going up a summit or something like that. The one I use the most probably is my homebrew 49:1 Unan, and just basic wire I got from Amazon, or I'm not sure where. This one is cut for 40 meters and 20 meters, so 2 of the bands on your radio will work. SWR is below 1.5 to 1 on both those 2 bands, and it's just an open type connector for the element. So I also have a wire cut for 30 meters if I want to use that. With this, I don't use a counterpoise, and it seems to work okay. The second antenna that I use is this high-end Fed Mini. And this one, like my homebrew, will give me 10, 15, 20, and 40 meters. And this one's been really good too. The wire is a bit weird, but this has been a good one for me as well. To connect that, in both these cases, as you can see, it's BNC connectors for these QRP type radios. There's one hidden in there. And so I use BNC to BNC coax. I've been using mostly RG58. I have a couple of pieces that I did buy from Amazon, but I don't like that. But to be fair, I have been using the RG58 for over a year without an issue. I bought some 174 also from Amazon, looking for a lighter wire, but I don't know. Yeah, I barely use this. I don't want to use this. And recently I've just ordered some new coax from DX Engineering, RG58, and also the 316 light with BNC to BNC connectors from Consolidated Wires. So much better quality, and I would feel a lot better about that, hooking my radio up to that, not the cheap Amazon coax. If I'm using this at home, my antennas that I have at home are using the PL259 connectors, so you can get an adapter, an SO239 to BNC adapter, so you can use the PL259 connected coax with it. So that's your power supply, that's your antenna. Your antenna needs to be resonant, or at least give you an SWR of less than 2 to 1, 1.5 to 1 and less is what I'm looking for. If you don't have that, then you're going to need an external antenna tuner. Audio is next, because you got to hear stuff that's coming out of your radio. I would say 9 times out of 10 for portable ops, whether with the mountain topper or any other radio, I prefer to use earbuds, and these are just inexpensive earbuds that plug into it, and then you're good to go. If I want to make videos, and sometimes I just like looking at the lake and listening to Morse code while also listening to the lake, I'm going to use a speaker. I have 2 that I use with this one. One is this little inexpensive one, and I've used this for maybe 2 years now, and it's rechargeable, powered. It's great. I think they're still available on Amazon, and I like this guy. I did get one of these, probably specific for the mountain topper, because there is actually a volume control in this, and I'll get to that right now. With your mountain topper, you don't have volume control, right, for your reception. It seems really weird, but oddly, it's not that bad. It works out okay. What a lot of people use, whether with earbuds or with speakers, is one of these. Right, so this you plug into your radio, and then into your speaker or your earbuds. And what it has is a volume control up top, an analog volume control. So these are inexpensive, also on Amazon, and you might want to pick up one of these to control your audio for your mountain topper. So earbuds, speakers, and this costs volume control extension cable, and then you're listening to the bands. Oh, one last thing about the JBL. This is the Go, I think, but I think this is the Go 2. You need to watch for these, because you want to make sure you have one that has a manual connector on it. I think some of the later models, like the 3 or 4, I don't know, you have to check it out, are Bluetooth only, which won't work with this guy. And finally, you need a key. I've used these 4 keys, so I'm looking for a portable key that's small, lightweight, that type of idea. So not big things like that. So the two that I've used a long time are these two. They're both from CW Morse. I have a straight key if I want to bring it along for, let's say, SKCC Portable, and then of course paddles, right? These are decent quality from CW Morse, and they work, so they're fine. If you want to do maybe more high-speed code sending, you'll have some limitations with this, but these have been okay, and they work, right? So they're fine. This is from N6ARA, just kind of works on contact, a very small key, right? That kind of puts together like that. I've used it a little, not sure about this one. It's been okay, but not sure about that one. I ended up getting a Tech key, the TP3. As you can see, really small. You'll hold it in your hand. You can strap it onto your knee if you want, or also it's got magnets on the back if you want to put it onto a metal surface. I just hold it and away you kind of go. This one is really good, but really expensive too. Tech also has a straight key, which I'll look into getting a really small one to replace this guy, but I gotta save my dough for that. And so that's a basic setup for my MTR-4B. So I got my power cord, got my key, and of course my key cable, BNC to BNC coax, an end-fed half wave that works on 40 and 20 meters with this radio, and earbuds, and I'm all set to go. Then I put everything but the antenna stuff into a sandwich container because I had one. So that's all my cables and power. And then this I stick into usually a little bag that actually came with the mini end-fed. This thing. Cable in there too. And that's my basic setup.